Hello, welcome to a speed build of a large traditional beach house. Now, it is partially furnished, so I'm not going to call it complete, but it's not entirely a shell either. I went through and laid out the floor plan and built out the kitchen and living room, so it's really just the whole upstairs, which are the bedrooms that need to be furnished. And I actually made this for one of my series called House Hunting, and it was for my friend Fabio and his family. If you're familiar with my house hunting series, or even if you're not, basically what I do is I take a family submitted by you guys, I build two houses for them and find the best house. And then whichever house happens to be the perfect one for the family, I go ahead and either furnish or remodel, whatever the case may be, and make it perfectly suited for them. Now, I say I build the homes, but in reality, I use homes that I have previously built before I even started a YouTube channel, which is kind of funny because I was a horrible builder. Like, I still don't think I'm that great, but I was definitely a lot worse back then. But I had all these houses that I thought were amazing at the time that were just sitting in my game that I never did anything with. So those are pretty much the houses I used for the series. I would just go through and pick out a couple that kind of matched what the family wanted and then go through and renovate them once we figured out which one was their dream home. But again, they were already pretty much built, so it was only a few small tweaks here and there that I had to do, whereas this time around, I actually had to build the houses from scratch. And I'll be honest, it took me a lot longer. I put it off probably a little bit longer than I should have, just because, I don't know, it felt a little bit daunting to build two gigantic beach houses, but you can actually see the one on the right, the other one. So there's a modern one and a traditional one, and I'm going to try not to spoil it, but in case I accidentally do a spoiler, you might want to go watch House Hunting episode 8, it is, I believe, before you watch these. It really doesn't matter. I mean, I'll try not to spoil it. But we end up picking one of the houses for the family and remodeling it. But basically, my point is, I didn't realize how much, I don't know, I have like this weird love-hate relationship with both The Sims 3 and The Sims 4, and I talk about it a lot, even though I really, really try not to because I understand it's annoying comparing the two games. But you have to understand, I came from only playing The Sims 3 and mostly playing The Sims 3 up until just a few months ago, really. So January is when I really started diving into The Sims 4, and real quick, being able to move those columns freely is one thing I totally miss. I don't know why that feature was changed in The Sims 4, but it bugs me. It bugs me so much. But what I'm getting at is, for the last few months, I've been saying The Sims 3 is so much better, like The Sims 4 is cool, I'm treating it as a different game, but my heart is with The Sims 3. But the truth of the matter is, I like building in The Sims 4 better, and I didn't realize that until I had to build these two homes, and it felt like such a chore. Now, tiny homes are still fun, I don't care, Sims 3, Sims 4, it doesn't matter, but when it came to a big house like this, it just, I don't know, I feel like it's so much easier in The Sims 4, and I can't believe I'm admitting that. Oh, and also, real quick side note, if you hear thundering, I'm so sorry, it's like storming here, but I need to get my videos recorded, so, try to bear with any really loud noises. I do live in Tampa, the lightning capital of the world, so surprise, surprise, it's lightning and storming. But yeah, so I don't know. Sims 4 just is easier and a little bit more fun to build in. And I do love the color wheel. Like, my main gripe is that Sims 4 doesn't have a color wheel, but I'm learning to accept it, and I'm learning to just sort by color, which actually helps a lot. And being able to search for items, even though some of the items aren't called what you think they should be called, is really nice. And being able to use the cheats to move objects up and down and to make them bigger. I don't know. I really, really prefer it. I can't believe I'm saying this because for so long I've been like, no, Sims 3 all the way. But the truth of it is, besides the color wheel, and like I said, these few little weird building quirks, like not being able to move the columns exactly where I want in Sims 4, and not being able to do part of a house with foundation and part without, and not having the walls be counted when when you lay out the walls, it doesn't tell you like, oh, 4 squares. That really bothers me. But besides that, I think Sims 4 is my favorite for building now. So I'm not saying I'm gonna stop playing The Sims 3 because that's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying I finally decided that I prefer The Sims 4 to build. But The Sims 3 gameplay, I have to say, I don't think will ever. Oops, that was loud. Maybe that's a sign. I was gonna say the gameplay will never be beat, but maybe like that lightning sound was a sign from the gods that Sims 4 is well on its way. But I love pets. I love pets. I love unicorns. I love supernatural beings and fairies and mermaids and being able to swim and having open worlds and being able to travel to the future, which I just started exploring. And I feel like The Sims 3 gameplay is so endless that I'll never get sick of it. And I used to say that about building because I was like, oh, we have a color wheel and patterns and I'll never get sick of it. But I don't know, it just feels daunting. Maybe it's just me. Maybe like, sometimes passions come and go in waves. And one day I'm all like, oh, Sims 3 is the best. And another day I'm like, oh, Sims 4 is the best. So maybe I'm just having a weird moment. But I don't know. It was rough. Like building these two houses was rough. And that's part of the reason, well, I guess the main reason why I didn't completely furnish them, because I was just having such a rough time with them. I don't know why, but all in all, I am happy with the way that they came out. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they're horrible houses, because they're decent, they're not bad. I'm not going to hate on the houses. And we did end up finding a really cool one for the family. And I will do a speed build, a separate video for the modern house next door, and I'll let you go back and watch House Hunting 8, I believe, if you really want to see which one the family chooses and what they look like furnished, or the winning one looks like furnished. It was a tough go on these. It was a tough go, and that boat would not sit underneath the house. It was just a little bit too tall, which is a bit disappointing because I really wanted to put it under the house, but it just didn't work out that way. It didn't work out. Oh, train tools. I forgot about train tools. Okay. Spiral stairs and ladders. If I continually try to compare the games, I'm going to go crazy. I keep saying I'm going to stop, but I can't. It's so hard to stop, but I need to stop. Somebody help me. Send help. I need to stop comparing The Sims 3 and The Sims 4. And oh my gosh, my power just like fluttered, like it turned off and turned on, but I'm pretty sure everything I'm using for this is connected to a battery backup, so hopefully that didn't interrupt anything, but wow, I hope we don't have a power outage. That would mean I would probably have to stop recording because this battery backup isn't going to last forever, but as of right now, we're good. We have lights, camera, action, literally. Well, not literally. I don't have face cam on right now. Lights, recording, action. Oh man. But anyways, what I was going to talk about, was I going to talk about this? I had a segue into this and then I got so distracted because I never plan out these voiceovers. I just start talking, whatever happens. But I did want to talk about what happened with my live stream yesterday. I mean, technically, whenever this video comes out, it could have been a week ago or 2 weeks ago or 2 months ago. You never know with me because I pre-record so much. But I had this weird dream a few nights ago that I was trying to live stream, and I had customers here at my store that kept me late. And even though I was supposed to start streaming at one time, it didn't start till like an hour and a half later, but I had hit the streaming button and left it on one of those loading screens that says starting soon, just so people knew that I was coming. And I didn't expect these customers to stay in the store for so long. So I thought maybe I'd be like 15-20 minutes behind, and it ended up being an hour and a half. And again, it was just a dream, but I woke up so freaked out, so scared. I was like, oh my God, because in the dream, all my subscribers unsubscribed. They all hated me. They were so mad at me for like keeping them hanging for so long. And I felt horrible. And I woke up so angry and so upset and so disappointed. And I came to work and I was mean mugging customers all day like it was their fault. Like this dream actually happened. Yeah, I know, I'm freaking crazy. But here's the kicker. So yesterday when I actually live streamed, my nightmare came to life. It happened. So I was supposed to start streaming at 6. Customers showed up 10 minutes till, so I hadn't even started setting up because usually the last few minutes before I close, I set up my background, I get my hair ready and my flower crown on and my mic set up and everything. So I hadn't even done that, and they ended up staying till almost 6:30. And so once they actually left, I started setting up, and guys, the nightmare continued because my camera wasn't working. So I was struggling trying to figure it out. I finally realized it was something to do with the USB ports, whether it's from the actual laptop or the USB hub I used to add USB ports to it. I wasn't sure yet at the time, but then I finally figured it out. I had to like unplug a few things, but I had like the main things I needed to record the live stream. So I start the live stream and I start talking and explaining the story about why I was late and what happened with the customers. And all of a sudden people start chatting because there's like a little bit delay. They start chatting and they're like, Steph, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. And I'm like, oh no, what happened? So I figured even though my microphone was plugged in, the port it was plugged into was showing that it was turned on, but somehow it wasn't. Yeah, my nightmare was totally coming true, and even worse because I had gotten the stream started and everything was still going haywire. So I got the mic to start working, but I had to unplug the camera, and I was like, okay, do you guys still want to continue like this? And everyone was so nice and sweet, and they're like, yeah, just continue without a camera. And then long story short, someone suggested to try another port. That backfired. The whole computer had a weird shortage. I had to restart it, but then thankfully when I restarted it, everything started working again. The USB hub obviously was still broken, but I was able to unplug the laptop cooling pad and have the mic and the camera and the mouse all plugged in at the same time and do the stream. And it turned out okay. We really didn't build. We were going to build a cool underground house in The Sims 3, and it just turned out to some into the future gameplay. But it was still fun, and I just want to thank all of you subscribers and viewers that actually stuck with me during that, because it was really scary, and I thought you were all going to leave me and hate me forever. But why on earth would I think that? Because you're all amazing, and I love you. But moral of the story, make sure your equipment works before you start live streaming. But anyways, here is just a final quick screenshot of this house. It will be available to download through the Sims 3 Exchange, and if you enjoyed this video and you want to see daily Sims 3 and Sims 4 videos, plus those weekly live streams I was just talking about, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye! Wait guys, before you go anywhere, don't forget to click over here to watch new videos and click on my face when I disappear to subscribe.